So I'm here in Medellin, Colombia right now, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about just a handful of safety tips when you're traveling or living abroad. Now, I'm not going to cover just kind of the basic don't be an idiot tips, because if I have to remind you to not be an idiot, it's a different thing altogether. But I've just found that these are general tips that you might not consider initially, but will really help you out later on. Number one is actually kind of, don't do what I'm doing right now. Be mindful of your cell phone. You're more likely to get your cell phone jacked than your wallet stolen, your purse stolen, really anything else. So don't be waving it around in a crowd. Be cognizant of what you're around, what's going on. And as long as you're doing that and you're not just kind of like in a busy area with your cell phone out, you should be okay. Don't leave it on tables like easily accessed that can be easily grabbed. I've heard way too many stories of people getting their cell phones nabbed doing that. So as long as you're just smart with your cell phone, you should be okay. But yeah, I hear more people getting their cell phone stolen than literally anything else. All right, next is more of if you're gonna meet somebody via dating app like Tinder or Bumble or something like that. Now, I'm a big advocate of connecting with locals. I think it's a great way to just kind of discover new restaurants and locations that you would never be able to find on your own. So I'm a big fan of that, but you got to be careful. You got to make sure and do as much background check on this person as you can. And the best way to do that is like cross-reference it with something like Instagram. If they don't have an Instagram profile, run, because you know, once you start acting weird that they don't have Instagram, they'll start giving you oh, I just want to like meet people, organic ways. Yeah, that's why you're on dating app, man. So if you're gonna do the dating app stuff, cross-reference always on Instagram. And don't be weirded out if they ask for, well, they might ask to move it to WhatsApp. That's okay. The world runs on WhatsApp outside the United States, so it's not as weird as if you're being requested that in the States. But even so, make sure that you can check that they have other social media profiles. If they don't, and they're just getting you to move from a dating app to WhatsApp and there's nothing else, don't do it. It's most likely a scam. They're going to try to take your information, or they're going to try to mess with you in some other way. So use Instagram to help verify everything. All right, this next one is specific for women, and you might already know this one, but it's pack, especially if you're solo, if you're moving solo, long, you know, traveling for a while solo, pack yourself like a fake wedding ring. It's helpful if you just don't feel like dealing with, you know, greasy dudes coming on you. I've also found it's helpful in certain countries where men might leer. Like I've heard stories of Morocco, Malaysia, stuff like that. It's so much easier if you have a wedding ring on your finger and you can just, you know, make something up if somebody tries to talk to you. Like, no, you know, husband's in the bathroom, husband's getting coffee, something like that. It's just, it's annoying that you have to do it, but it's helpful just to have it on you. You know, don't spend a lot of money on it. Just get a cheap piece of junk. So if it gets robbed, it's $5. Who cares? But yeah, definitely fake wedding ring is way to go. This next tip is really for guys to listen to, because women already know this. Watch your drink. Don't set it down. Don't let somebody that you don't really know watch it. Like, take it with you, or drink the whole thing, or forget about it. Because you don't know who's gonna mess with it. Because here's the thing, I've been roofied before. It is a disaster. And I was roofied in Chicago, in Wrigleyville. You know, not guard completely down, not paying attention, not thinking that something bad could happen. But it did. And I felt like I was dead for 5 days. So be mindful. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in like the nicest place ever. Oftentimes that's where it's at, because people have money to buy that stuff. And in some countries, that stuff is perfectly legal to get. So watch your drink. All right, next. Pay attention to how locals are wearing their backpacks and purses. You'll find a lot of them are wearing their backpacks in their front. That's probably for a reason. Locals know best. Locals always know best. And so if locals doing it and you see a lot of them doing it, you might want to consider doing that too. So backpack in front, if that's what everyone's doing, purse in front, over both shoulders. Do whatever they're doing. All right, I'm back in my room, but let's keep going. So next tip is kind of straightforward, but if you're going to be working in a coffee shop or anything, take your computer with you if you have to use the bathroom. I don't care if you're just checking your teeth or it's going to be for 5 seconds. Don't leave your computer out. Really, you shouldn't be doing that in the United States anyways. You don't know. I mean, I've done it, I know, but I'm usually still kind of cautious. But still, do not leave it, especially if it's a Mac. Mac is high price merchandise, and even if you have a Samsung or an IBM, whatever, that costs more, doesn't matter. Mac is name brand, and that's gonna get stolen easier. But anyways, don't leave it. If you want an open place that you can work, I'd recommend finding like a work share place. There's like some apartment / work areas that you can do. Even then, I'd be a little leery. If you're going to move and you're going to do the digital nomad kind of stuff, I honestly have a backup computer. I mean, it's a really junky Windows thing I bought for a couple $100. I haven't used it in a while. It's just sitting there just in case. So that way, if something did happen, I wouldn't be screwed. Like, I could still get some work done. But anyways, don't leave your computer just out if you have to get up for a couple minutes. All right, lastly, don't walk around in the new place, whether you've moved or you're traveling, with all your cards. Split them up. I always split my cards up. So I have a couple different travel cards. I have my ATM card and such. I won't carry them all with me. I will take 2 or half the cards, maybe more than half, and store them in the hotel room somewhere or in the safe or something. It's just so if something happens, you never know. If something happens, then you're not like, okay, I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and I have no way of buying anything. Especially if you have moved, getting a replacement card could be a pain. You might be able to wire yourself some money from Western Union, or somebody could wire you some money from Western Union, but still, it's a pain. And one thing I like to do is in my wallet, I will have the main area, which I keep the bigger bills, and then I'll have a side pocket that's a little more visible, and I will put some smaller bills. So say you're buying something from a street vendor, or you're taking a photograph with somebody that you got to pay. If they see the big bills first, they're going to ask for the big bill. So if I keep the small bill visible, then it's like, okay, there's a 20 peso note instead of a 50 peso note. It's like, this is all I got. This is the biggest thing. They'll ask for the biggest thing that they see. So make that one visible, and it's just a little easier to, you don't have to deal with it. It's less hassling, there's less arguing with people. But anyways, those are just a couple safety general tips above and beyond. Don't be an idiot. Don't be walking in the middle of the night down an alleyway by yourself. All that stuff. Waving expensive stuff around while you're going around. So I didn't want to cover the general use common sense stuff. But these are just a couple of extra things that I would suggest you do. I can do extra videos of this because I know there's other safety things that we can get into, like safety in hotel rooms, safety when you're in the airport, stuff like that. But these are just some basic safety tips that I always do and that I highly recommend. But anyways, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will be having more videos coming out. I left my webcam at home, so I've been doing everything on my phone, so I'm sorry that if it's a little shaky or whatever. But anyways, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next video.